Sorry. Okay, I'm going to call to order the trustees of the Whiting Library monthly meeting. Welcome and good evening to everybody. Okay, we're going to have anything added to the agenda?
So we're starting at 6:37.
I have something I'd like to add. We are reviewing the personnel policy, and this was the first chance that I had to read it all. It's a draft. It needs
What's
work.
this one?
That was the one that was sent out,
Right.
that was sent out, I think,
Oh, right.
this week.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it and the format isn't consistent and there are
Oh, yeah.
bad grammar.
That was
here.
basically, that's the one that,
Was it? It was,
Marilyn Mahusky wrote,
right.
and, people, like, I just took out the comment sections.
Oh.
For in there, but yeah, no, it has to be read.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so I'd like me to make a stab at fixing it up.
Yeah.
So that-
Right.
Yeah, thanks. Because the thing, go ahead.
I'm going to say, we'll talk about that a little bit though in the committee reports or not.
In the what?
The personnel policy, the way it is now, we're going to talk about it at all, maybe in the committee, because personnel or what? Are we going to talk about
Policy
any
committee.
of the issues?
Yeah, oh, I see.
Not the
I think-
grammar and the spelling.
Yeah, I don't think so. We were, there was
No, I
only
think
one,
the only.
one term we were.
Oh,
it's on
okay.
the
No,
agenda.
it was
Yeah.
about the, health,
Yeah, that's the only
stipend,
thing, right?
and we wanted to finalize the holiday.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think you should put that on the agenda though, and then it's a topic, because before you put the revising it to make, the
It should be as a
stylistically,
topic.
I think that there's a few things that I want to get input on.
Okay, okay.
All right, well, we'll address that.
Yeah, and we aren't gonna get into the weeds where we need
Right,
to do
right.
an executive session on it or anything.
Well, it's a policy, it wouldn't be, but no, we're
No.
not talking, we're just talking about.
Right.
Yeah, so
Okay,
there's,
so Penny's gonna look at it and you're gonna.
I'll talk when we get to it as an
Okay.
agenda item, because
Okay. And,
Karen has something she wants to add.
should we add the budget, a small discussion on the budget, so at least we talk about it a little
If
bit?
we have time. But if they're asking for it at town hall. We should.
Yeah, well, that's
Maybe we
why
should-
I used to say that we should be working on it starting in October, because that's what it is.
Yeah, well,
How
I
close are
did,
we?
I did.
How close are we to getting it?
Well, there is a completed budget,
Right.
but, and right here, but, you have to give, I did this on my own. I don't know what,
Well,
your philosophy is, what, say. Like last year, when we went to the, well, we should be talking about this now.
yeah, no, I know, it's like, I mean, it's kind of like, it is your responsibility to do the
Okay,
budget,
so
but
these-
then with input from the
I know.
treasurer.
I did
Right.
something for you to go
All
over.
right, so
Right,
these are
okay.
gonna be topics, let's try and keep going.
I'm making lists in the backs. I'll take it back. You can have it back later.
Okay, so we're gonna approve the minutes from last meeting.
I did send them out.
So moved.
Second. Can I?
Okay, approved.
Okay, Laura,
Yes,
are you ready for a report? Can you
No.
give us a report?
She didn't
yeah,
get.
so I didn't get a report from Lori, and I'll be honest with you, the whole thing went over my head with having a meeting today. I didn't get the agenda from Matt either over the weekend, so I just was not really prepared to have a meeting today and have things ready for you guys. What I will do is I will check in with Lori to get a report, and I will email it to the group, to everyone in the next few days. It shouldn't take me long to put this together. But I thought I just briefly bring up about the fiscal year coming to an end, and we need to present a new budget to the town. And I'm willing to sit down with Gail to
Yeah.
come up with a budget. I don't think we need to make many changes to the budget. I think we in a good shape in terms of the numbers from last year and keeping it the same for this year. I don't think we should be asking for more funds, but I haven't seen anything from Gail. But I'm willing to sit down with her on a weekend to go over it and come up with our final budget.
Okay, so you guys can set up a date
Yeah.
to do that?
Yeah, Laura, I sent something over the weekend, but so like this would be the thing. One of the first things for you to decide as a group. Last time we went to the town, we took money, we were originally asking for a lump of money from both Andover and Chester. And at the last minute, we reduced that. We used the
Yeah.
endowment money
Right.
to reduce their contribution. Now, do you want to do that again this year? That's kind of,
I would say
Yeah.
keep, my vote is ask for the same amount that we
Yeah.
asked last year.
that's what I thought too.
And don't volunteer to
Don't.
reduce it.
No.
Yeah, don't, whatever they gave us last year,
Yeah.
ask for that again.
Right.
And not, so we're not increasing
Yeah.
our ask.
Right.
And then,
But we're not increasing the ask, but we would if they gave us what we asked for. We asked for the same amount we asked for last year.
they didn't give
Well,
us that amount.
No, so are you saying we should ask for what they gave us or ask for what?
No, that's what they gave us, because
Oh, what they gave us.
I would say ask for what they gave us.
So then this,
The
budget-
argument is we didn't increase it. We asked for more last year. You didn't give it to
So-
us. We're not asking for more this year,
Right.
just what you gave us last year.
okay, so then on this budget, we had to cut $6,000 off of it. Because, which is, that would be not impossible to do or add. Because I use the endowment as, I didn't do it that way, I mean, because,
You lost me.
Well, we
I'm
didn't
not
have,
familiar with
the
this.
endowment money. Did we know that was coming in
yes,
last year when we did the budget?
yes.
We knew we were going to go to the town and say, we're gonna use some of that money.
And we did go to them, because we knew, and so we did know.
We said that in kind of like a show of good faith.
Yeah,
Right.
and if you do that again, which is fine, see, I was asking here, what I asked for was the same amount that we asked for last year. And,
With or without the endowment money.
what we originally asked for, and the first time we went there, and then we went back again and we reduced it. And so I asked for what we originally asked for,
Which is how much?
was 118,000. And what we got was 111.
Yeah.
And so if I can refigure this with the 111,000 and the amount that we asked for from Andover, but Andover just not really paying.
They don't,
us.
they only gave us 4,000, and they're not gonna give us any more.
Don't you facility ask for it?
We can ask.
Because
But
it's,
they're not, I wouldn't plan on it. We asked
I
them last
know.
year and they didn't give us.
no, but maybe they will eventually, because like, and it did happen the first year I was here, what you asked for, for both places, you didn't get anything. We asked for it, the next year we got it, so they might have to have that asked a few times, maybe, I mean,
And maybe if we went to one of their select board
we
meetings.
Well,
do,
we usually do.
we
And
understand.
we usually, then Gail, give a presentation on
Okay.
work.
Yeah,
And they don't
expect that
budge on it.
because-
How long
They're
have
like,
they been?
You have all this money in the.
well, that's good, Andover doesn't even notice that.
Yeah, and Andover's just like, yeah, no, this is what we get here.
Well, they see us as, they don't see us as like a fee for service, like the way they look at the rec department, which I really think they are basing their figure based on how many people used it the year before, which is what they should be doing for us,
Mhm.
instead of just giving us a sum, which isn't,
Right.
there's no formula.
Well, that was the first year I did that.
Yeah.
That's, I think, what we said is like, the budget came to like
Yeah,
$30 per person or something,
but
you know.
it's the history of the 20 years that they've been getting from Andover, that with just a contribution.
Yeah,
It's never based
Right,
on what
right.
they really,
right.
Yeah.
used.
Well,
You said last year that we had an endowment and you knew about it, but we did the budget. We have that.
the money
as well?
that we get quarterly
Oh,
The
okay,
interest, that's what that is.
that's the, okay.
Well, we hadn't gotten it yet, but we had already done the resolution. We
So
knew
you
it was
knew
We
gonna-
knew that we didn't know how much we were gonna get, but.
Right.
we
Yeah,
knew
Yeah, we didn't know how much. It was just an estimate.
And is it the same thing this year?
Yeah, same
Yeah,
thing.
same
It's- We'll
estimate,
make the
right.
same estimate, but what I'm gonna do is reduce the amount of their contributions, which would really reduce the overall amount that we could spend, so I'll just have to rework this. But this will give you an idea.
Right.
Look at this.
But we're not gonna change what we asked the town for.
No.
Okay.
No, we shouldn't change, sorry, we shouldn't change what the town gave us. We
Right,
will
right.
tell them that
Yeah.
in addition to what they gave us last time, we will also have what we're getting from the endowment.
Right.
But we wanna use that, they just said they wanna use that, exactly, yeah. We
And-
wanna present it to them, I think like we did last year, is that we are reducing your contribution with the use of the endowment, so because we have the endowment, we can ask you for less. It should be really clear.
This, right, okay. And that ought to be good because last year they reduced it to that. We asked for more, they reduced it by 7,000.
Yeah,
We're asking
Yeah.
a lower amount this year.
Right.
because
So
we have the
they
endowment.
probably won't,
So-
they probably won't, they won't reduce it if we're just asking for the same.
Right, that's what I mean. I think
Yeah.
that that's a good faith. We're not asking for more because we needed the money, but
Right.
we were able to get it from the endowment. We believe we'll be able to do that again this year.
yeah.
So we're only asking for what we got last year, because our budget's the same as it was last year.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, and, what the town of Chester gives us basically is our operating costs.
oh, okay.
Our payroll and,
Well, they don't really pay even all of the payroll,
right,
they don't even pay their share of it,
right,
because payroll's so expensive,
Mm.
right.
and that's what, I mean,
You know, and like when nobody's taking the retirement, if we ever hire somebody new, they would get retirement. That's something that the town proved that we could add that to the budget when it became necessary.
Okay, all right. Oh, I see, good.
Okay.
Okay, so we're pretty close to getting a budget.
yeah, but Laura, maybe we can, this Saturday or something, Laura said you can come in on the weekend and we can.
Laura, is that
Yeah,
what you?
I can probably come in either Saturday afternoon or Sunday might be also a good time for me.
Yeah, Sunday, I was gonna say we could do Sunday too. I think we did Sunday last year too.
Okay, because my husband is off for the first time on Sunday, so I could come in. That would be the easiest for me.
Yeah, Sunday's fine.
Okay,
Tell
that's
me
good. Good.
Tell me what time would be a good time.
What time's good for you? Like,
How
1
about
o'clock?
like 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock's good for me.
Okay.
Cool. So then we should have a budget to give to the town by next week.
But no, wait, I don't know whether it will be next week. But anyway, the thing is, you guys have to approve it.
Yeah, when's it due?
So you were gonna have to have
So
a
we could
well,
You
get
would have to
together
have a
just to
special meeting.
approve.
yeah, we did that last year, and I
I
think
think
that we really went in December. It's kind of important.
We just sent it out and,
No, well, last year it took 3 meetings for you guys. I presented budgets 3 different times. And you guys went through it line by line. And,
That's what we're supposed to do.
yeah, but I mean, it took like an hour to do that.
Right,
And,
yeah.
so it wasn't just by, maybe previously it was, but last year was not.
Next week is Thanksgiving, so that wouldn't be.
It's the one after, I've heard both people.
When is the deadline for this budget to go into the town?
I don't know.
well, because it has to be published.
Yeah, but the book isn't gonna be done until January.
But is there?
Right, but I think it still has to be in before the end of the year.
Yeah, because they wanna know, they
Yeah.
wanna know.
I mean, all the other departments
Oh, okay.
have submitted their budgets.
Different, but they are up already, because they have to, they submit it, they get together with Julie, they discuss it, the way we're discussing
Yeah,
right
right,
now.
right.
Right.
The whole process is all started.
Well, I would say
Departments are making.
we're
the
only gonna have
presentations
one
now.
go over. I would say if you guys put together a budget Sunday, send it to everybody make their notes and questions. And then we meet, maybe you have one special meeting,
Well, next week is
not
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving,
But
but
when
not
is-
next week.
I'm
but
gonna
the
be in
following week.
Virginia, but I could do it.
But
down
when
there.
is the board, when do they have the next meeting? I mean, because
The select board
Yes.
meets
it's first and the third,
first of
So this Thursday,
they have, I know they have after.
the school board meeting is this Thursday. I don't know when the select board meeting is.
I do not.
I do know that
I should know this business.
I know that's why I asked you. But,
Well, he's the one that last week said to me, don't you have your numbers in yet?
They had one on the 15th because they reported that in the Telegraph, but that means the Thursday would be actually Thanksgiving, so they're not gonna have that.
no, no, no.
They're usually,
Second and fourth,
yeah,
and the fourth is Thanksgiving.
and it's a Wednesday.
Okay. Well, I thought it was, you're right, so it'll be a day before Thanksgiving,
Yeah, so that's.
but they're not
I'm
gonna have it
looking
then. A lot of people are home cooking then.
On the town services. Government. Select board.
Okay, so we gotta check our calendars to see a day that we can have
I'm gonna be
It's
in.
the first and the third Wednesday
Do
of
it
each
by-
month.
This
is what
one,
they-
November 19th, when's that?
Today or tomorrow. And that one,
No, tomorrow's the 19th.
so that's the third
They have
Wednesday. It's
meetings
the
that
first
are-
and the third.
And then they don't.
Right,
So, I mean, I think that, so we're talking about either the 3rd of December or the 17th of December. And I think like last year, we probably did it at the third one in
Yeah.
December. So I doubt you might be ready, but even so, it's gonna be before. You'll have a,
December 3rd is a Wednesday.
yes,
Yeah, I would say December 3rd, we should have to have, or at least give it to the board.
so that means
We
you're
have
gonna
to
have
give
to
it to the
do it
select board.
during,
okay.
See how it's hard to see now?
Would you guys be available on the weekend of, like, say like either the 29th or the 30th of November?
I'll be driving home. I'm gonna be in Virginia for Thanksgiving. I last Friday. I come back probably the Sunday, which is the 30th.
well, what
It's
about,
an 650 miles.
yeah, what about
Oh, yeah.
Monday the 4th?
I could do it on Monday, the 1st. And the only thing is, we're coming back either Sunday or Monday,
Oh, Monday.
weather dependent.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it'll be Sunday if we can, and so far it looks like we can, but if it's snowing, it'll be Monday. But as long as I'm not en route, I mean, even if I'm en route, my son can be driving because we're going down together. And I can do Zoom on the phone, so
Well, the
I
thing
can
too,
participate
alright.
one way or the other.
And we
Yeah.
could, as long as like, if they send the budget out. So for us all look at least we can all make our notes or write down questions that we have, like, where's this from, where's that from, and why are we doing this?
Right, so then we don't spend all this time discussing everything while we're in a meeting trying to approve budget.
Right,
So right now, the budget's 20% above last year.
well, I thought it was
Overall.
It's gonna be the same.
Well, you just
I
said
said it
that.
was the same.
No, no,
Just overall.
no, listen. That's whenever I said, I needed to get some direction about what to do. You hadn't told me not to raise their, and I already done the budget. So I said we have to take $6,000 out. That's all. I got $6,000 is the overall. I mean, we just have to take $6,000 out.
Okay.
And I don't really,
If it's for all, they're sent over
it's no, but that's. What we're really talking about is it's 6%, we're asking the town of Chester to pay 6% more. I was, but you just directed me not to do
I
that.
see, okay.
You just directed me not to do that.
How much
When I-
how much is 6%?
that's
6,000?
yeah, well, it's.
No,
that was
7,000. So I had to get 7,000 gallons out of it, 7,000.
So we'd be asking them for 7,000.
That was what I did. I just thought, what would you do? It was just me, because I had to give you something. I thought we should go back and ask them for what we had originally asked them for, because that's really what we need. And, then, I don't really care which way to do it. And, but, so we can do it that way, but I just have to make some adjustments in this.
How long will it take you to do?
Gail,
All right?
I,
What?
I think, From what I remember last time, we asked for a certain amount. I can't remember the exact number, but then they met us more than midway and gave us maybe $3,000 less than what we originally asked for. And then we went back and said, actually, we don't need the entire amount. We can reduce it by about $6,000. And they
Right.
said they were really surprised and they were very happy that we slashed it even more or shaved off even more. And I would ask for the same number that they actually gave us. And
Yeah,
then
that's fine, I'll do that. Just gonna take, I mean, it won't take long, half hour.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, so then you and Laura can
And you
discuss
can
that.
work that out on
we can work
Sunday.
on this together. Gail and I can work it together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew there was a reason I was taking that computer.
The treasurer's report is gonna be on hold, Laura, right?
Yeah, she's gonna get that to us.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what was the last part?
I just said you'll get your report out to us whenever you can, right?
I will get it to you in the next 2 days. Yeah, by the end of the week, I will have it for you. Probably by the weekend would be a good time for me. And then I will meet with Gail at 1 p.m. on Sunday. And the other thing was I checked in with the town about the getting the quarterly checks. So for next year, if we want to do this again, I just have to tell them that this is what we want to do, get quarterly checks again from our wealth management account. And I think I have to sign something for it with the bank.
So you do that every year.
Right.
I have to do that every year, yes. So I told them I will just inform the board just to make sure that we want to still stay the same in terms of the percentage that they take out. And I don't have the number in front of me. But I'm thinking that we probably want to do exactly the same thing. I don't think we want to increase the percentage or reduce it because the fund is actually doing really well.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, so that's all settled?
Yes,
Okay, thanks, Laura.
thank you.
Okay, so next is the director and youth reports.
Okay, so Carrie, and I send all that stuff out, does anybody want copies?
If
Yeah.
you have extras, I'll take it, because I need hear them out.
So when would we be able to get a budget into the town? We have to let her know the Friday before to be put on the agenda. She sends out everything. So Friday before, she
sends them out, or so she has to have them in, or just tell her?
she will put us, the library budget on the agenda.
Okay, oh, I see. Okay,
So if you, so she has to have it
next Friday.
So if we next Friday say, put us on the agenda for Tuesday.
Thursday, Wednesday, Wednesday is the third, Wednesday. Okay. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.
And I can take that action.
Donna, do you want this?
Do you want, I want that for this,
Yeah, please.
so, we're continuing and trying to get programs as we can with very little space. So because of that, because we have this very little space, I mean, the programs we're doing are great and people love them. But we're not promoting them as much as we would normally because we don't have a any break on.
Right.
Do they know when that work's gonna be completed?
Well, because I put in the fundraising, I put some program listings down. I didn't want to do that because it was going so slow and I was afraid they weren't going to be done, but they told me they were going to be done
When?
the end of the month. They said that they would be out by December. They've done, well, the sprinklers have to come back a little bit. They have to come and do them, but they have been tested, but there's a few little cleanup things they have to do.
I see this ceiling tile down there.
Yeah, they've been putting the ceiling tile in, it's really good, but they've been doing that, but they have not done the electrical work either. And then, but they're doing the ceiling tile now, like, they're trying to leave stuff open that they need to do for the.
So no lighting's being done.
No, I'm not really sure what exactly that's gonna be like, I hope it will be what
Yeah.
we want, but sometimes, it's like a telephone game, because we tell them I mean, 18 months ago, when we first talked about this, there was things we were gonna do, but it might have gotten sifted out of their memory and so, but I keep asking, is it gonna have that? And they
I
said,
think you
yeah,
gotta do it in writing.
yeah, but see, we're not really even involved in it.
Yeah, that's.
Oh,
it's the
No,
guy-
but I
that
want
guy,
to send an
right?
email to Julie and say, I understand this work is happening. We have to know when it's gonna be done because we have programs scheduled.
Right.
Well, that did help with that, but it's more about the, and Julie probably wouldn't even be able to tell you exactly what.
Yeah, but there's gotta be a project manager who's running the
Yeah,
job.
if Steve is the project manager,
Well, that put somebody, you know, like an engineer or something on the plans, because I don't think Steve would be qualified to do the,
but that he might be above that person, like that person
Yeah.
might be reporting to Steve saying, here's what
Right.
the
yeah,
schedule is.
but, yes, but Steve's the one that I would often have to get to, and then he might go to Julie, and Steve is someone who would not really, I think, prefers not to answer. Because he doesn't really wanna be wrong, and so he did, but then when I keep bugging him, he goes to Julie, and then Julie answers me.
So maybe we should write a letter to Julie,
But wouldn't
just
Julie-
asking when is this project coming to a conclusion?
Well, yeah, I mean, they ought to give you
Yeah.
that information
I
because.
mean, the kids
I mean,
aren't,
you've been involved in projects, I was a project manager, my husband was a project manager, there's always somebody in charge who
Right.
has dates.
But the-
Yep. yeah, and Julie should be able to go to Steve and say, find out when this is gonna be.
But the
completed.
reason it's a little different here than it would be any project that I've worked on before. Cause I've done big construction projects, you know, the library, reconstruction project, but the difference is we're using town employees for a lot of it. And they have other jobs. They're being pulled off their other job.
Town employees are doing the sprinkler system?
No, they did not do the sprinkler
Oh, I was
system.
gonna
They
say,
did
what?
No, that was not. And the painting also, that was not, but you know, everything else, you know, had pretty much been Steve or some other person who'd been here from like really early to really late today. And so, you know, if something else happens, they have to do that.
Right,
Steve's on the fire department. If there's a call,
Yeah.
he's gonna have to do that.
no, I'm talking about the
That's
sprinkler,
pretty much done.
the lighting and the
And the
ceiling,
lighting is being done by.
so that room can be used again.
The lighting is being done by an employee as well. He had somebody coming in, there's an electrician that works for the town, and he's actually gonna be, so, yeah, I don't know where he works. But there is so that,
Who's the electrician? You know? Okay.
he hasn't been here that much, but he did spend a couple days here. And, but I do, when I talked to the guy who's been here doing the ceiling tile, who works for the town, he, told me that when they do the electricity, he's having somebody from outside come in and help him. Cause I guess, you know, there's always little extra problems that
And they need, yeah, and
come up.
it's really serious. They have to
Yeah,
follow all this
yeah.
code.
And
Yeah.
the sprinklers, there were a lot of extra problems that they didn't, you know, imagine, I think. Yeah, so,
An old building with
yeah,
new stuff, there are always gonna be
yeah,
problems.
yeah,
That's my husband.
yeah. So,
Always.
So there's there are some other grants coming out that they're building related, so I don't know whether it would be good if it would be helpful if there were people interested who might come together so that we could talk about what we would like these grants to be used for. The first one, I don't know what this first, but the first one I talk about, it's one of the grants from the state library. It's HUD grant, and it's for $100,000 to $400,000. And Julie might have some plans. She might want to do the exact same grant that she applied for a few 18 months ago.
She's really good at getting
But
grants.
she didn't get that one. That's why she might want to use that
And there
same
are
grant.
probably
But-
fewer
but-
available this
yes.
year.
No, well, yeah, but these two were announced at the same time.
Oh, okay.
And so they knew they both were coming. And,
Oh.
but through the state library, but I think that we are the people that are actually using the space.
Mhm.
I don't know, I think it would be useful for us to work with Julie. Because I think before, what she's working with, what she was working with, when she wrote the other grant, was stuff that she heard from,
Wow.
like, library director.
Mhm.
Three directors before, and
Matt and, well, the previous library director and I met with the architect and Steve and Julie. And they looked around to see what, at that time, yes, it was that director, what could be done, what should be done. Like we talked about the kitchen downstairs, making it more accessible,
yeah,
moving the ramp from the front to the back
I think.
because of the snow
I
falling
think
on it.
that meeting you had was one I was in, and that's when we talked about that. But that's right before we got ready to apply for it. But she got all the knowledge about what to do, besides the ramp, besides that, from Deidre. So that was a long time ago. And there just might be some other things that we want, I don't know, there just might be some things.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure. I just wanna, the thing about moving the ramp to the back is this library is, as we can tell right now, is really small.
Mhm.
It's really small. And if you ever wanted to add any inches onto the building, that is going to be where it is. And if you put a ramp there it's just,
Well, it's bringing it to that entrance there. right?
yes, that's what I'm saying. That is the only opportunity that this building has to do any kind of expansion. That way, right where the ramp would be.
You know, but if they ever moved it, that they just moved the ramp, moved the whole door. Because they had a whole plan to do a whole presentation area out back. They were gonna, what's his face, Triginus.
Oh, right, yeah.
He did a whole plan for like a amphitheater in the back,
Oh,
like seating on
Yeah.
steps, and it
Wow.
was beautiful.
Yeah,
But again, that was another grant that
Yeah,
got squashed to do presentations and activities outside.
yeah,
Which we do, but now, you know, you sit
Yeah.
and rest.
yeah. It would be
Used to do
nice,
that.
it's nice to have the outdoors.
Right.
But I'd rather fix up the indoors, which since we only use the outdoors like 5 months out of the year. I mean, the indoors. I mean, we're really.
Oh, and they talked about, you know, like moving the reception desk. Make
But
it
nobody,
smaller.
nobody wants to do that now.
Okay, I'll see, because.
No, that's what I'm saying. Things change.
Yeah,
And there's
well, no,
nobody-
because it was just so large,
Yeah.
reducing the size of it.
No, I wanna move it over there because especially if they're gonna put the entrance over here, why would we want it to be like even further?
Well, it's like now people walk in the library, and I know the first time I came in here, I was like, where's the desk?
Yeah,
it's a hall for learning, so yeah.
see the death.
But, you know,
Yeah,
more regulars, they know.
yeah, I don't know, not the library, you don't see that.
Yeah, it's not so big, we can't find it.
Yeah, yeah. But so anyway, there's a few of them and I don't know, I think it would be useful for us to kind of, before Julie just writes a grant, using the priorities from 10 years ago.
Right.
We might wanna come up with our own priorities
Yeah,
now.
absolutely, makes perfectly good sense that if she's gonna write one now, it should be on the situation as it exists now.
Yeah, yeah,
Correct.
yeah,
And so meeting with her is a great idea.
yeah.
Right.
But we might wanna meet first before we meet with her.
Oh, well, yeah, so we know,
Oh, no,
we wanna know what we're gonna say, yes, but
Yeah,
then,
mhm.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Right.
And so I know that in like 2017, when a previous library director, Sharon came here, she got all these pictures, 25 of these.
Oh.
And it was for fundraising.
Oh, okay.
But see, the thing is, since we do not have any space at all anymore to store anything, not anything. That I think we should be getting rid of selling, maybe having a sale
That's
That's
for a lot of
the
the
answer
articles
to
that
the
have. So
grant.
then,
Oh,
we did anything with this, and because the.
Ameriglass Hercules
And
Mini,
decide how much to sell.
$3,600.
All over New York City.
Oh, oh my God.
Any picture.
Looks.
Some of them are paying, some of them aren't.
Donna,
Look, and this one is.
this is the answer to the ramp situation.
Yeah, see,
But the doors isn't at that ground level.
that's like,
It's
it's
down
an
low.
elevator.
It is.
It is, it's an outdoor handicapped lift,
Yeah.
and they have them, every school in New York City has one of these.
Yeah, but like,
Outside.
how would, is there a roof over it? Keep snow off of it?
The custodian shovels it,
No,
but,
no.
I mean, it's easy enough to
There's
build
surface
something
something
in
in
there.
there.
Yeah. Not to,
Well, we can
really
really,
a structure over it, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, that would be definitely, I could see use of that.
Yeah, and then we don't have this whole issue with a ramp, it takes up so much room.
well, to me, I don't have any problem with the ramp there. I mean, like, if people might think that's ugly, but you could put flower beds or what, you know, like, you could put, some people, I think the town wants to, yes. You could make it attractive.
Yeah.
Looking.
Yeah.
But I don't really necessarily think you need to move the whole thing in the back, but you might wanna move it forward a little bit. So that's,
So the snow is.
Well, that's it.
slide down.
let's go down right on it,
Right.
because it, you know, that,
I mean,
Snow
God
coming
forbid, we
down.
can't even get the whole thing.
You don't want snow and ice falling on people using the
Right.
ramp.
well, I know you don't, because it's, when I was shoveling the
That is
ramp,
deteriorating so bad
Yeah.
out there,
when I,
that's a liability.
what is,
Yeah, they have the ramp, they
ramp.
can fix that. whenever it
Oh.
ends.
well, they
Okay,
did it once, the ramp, it is, they did it, all it takes.
Okay.
Oh, it's, what do you call it, ground it down, but yeah. Yeah, so anyway,
Speaking of information, remember we looked at, you got pricing for repainting or redoing the sign?
yes, I did.
Cause I was walking by the other day and the beautification, Lynn Russell was out there with her husband, John, who's a friend of Peter's, putting greens on it, and she goes, "What's with this?" Cause where it says established in 18 blah, 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 is peeling off.
Oh.
Well, that,
We talked about that.
we painted, Donna and I painted that sign
Yeah, no,
before,
that's such
last salon.
Yeah, we could do that,
Can't we just replace that? It's obviously a sticky thing that's on there.
pull it off and have nothing on there for a while. Because you can't even see it probably anyway, venture, right there.
Yeah, well, it's like, just find out and say, how much does it?
Yeah, but it needs to, we need.
It's a sticky thing that says established 1860.
If you were gonna fix,
Like this.
if you were gonna do any kind of much to that at all, you ought to do a little bit more to it. I think it was less than $1,000. And, it was less than $1,000 to do the whole new one. And because that's how much money the man that was gonna donate it.
was donating.
And we got carpeting instead, because anyway, the reason that we needed the carpeting too, and he gave two choices, and I got the carpeting was good because the carpet shop donated a lot of it, so it extended
right.
the $1,000
I
further.
think I still have the black paint that we bought.
It's
That
downstairs,
they wouldn't give to us.
Yeah,
it's downstairs, I think, but,
but we can just paint it.
well,
You just get a stencil and you paint it,
That's true.
and it's done.
You and I,
$1,000.
oh,
you and I will work on
Yeah,
that.
we'll do that. Forget that, let's keep going.
Okay. I just had to let everybody know that I'm putting that out to me yesterday.
Yeah.
Beautification Society 25.
time I think, we could just take that, because it is hanging loose.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, she just.
Peel it off, make
Okay.
it fold.
Okay, what else?
Honestly, that's probably all I have to say. Do you
Okay.
have any questions? Was there anything that you saw with any questions?
No, I have to read it in more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you said it was, but
That's all right.
you know. Technological basis.
And we know that like Carrie's really limited with space. So,
Well, Carrie has almost double the space you did when I first came here.
no, I mean,
That's
that's the work's done, being done.
Oh,
So I know that's
I-
limited
oh,
right
I
now, so,
Yeah, she's doing her stuff up here.
yeah.
Yeah, and which works. I mean, it works to do that a little better then. And we do the book discussion up here. We had one lecture up here.
Yeah,
But, there's a lot of programs we just have to just wait.
Yeah.
okay.
Maybe the Chester Telegraph could do a little blurb on the library and how it's coming with the renovations, with the holidays coming and how it's gonna affect things. And there's still good things going on at the library.
Yeah.
Yeah, do like a little press release.
At the last meeting, we talked about like maybe using the, some of the money that. Not, the two front money, I think, probably, not laying down the money, but the two front union that is also, right, honestly, the town is. Maybe even more concerned about that because that's really high as well, and, so we talked about maybe after they got done with, the basement, maybe doing carpeting and, painting. Well, I did talk to Steve about that, and I don't know, his first response, maybe he thought we were asking, sometimes he might have thought we were asking the town to pay for it. Because he was saying that would be in the grant that Julie would be writing, but that grant isn't until 2031.
Oh, gee.
I don't think we wanna wait.
No, wait,
No,
no, 60 years, no. Yeah.
Conclusion of the
Has
grant.
to be.
That's for putting
Does
an
it have to
addition
be
on the
carpeting?
Have to be, but I think Carrie would have to, I mean, what else do you think?
Well, like, it's something that's waterproof, like, those
You mean-
click and lock floors, like
good.
But those are carpets and like that.
the
I mean,
what?
there are carpets that are in squares like.
Yeah, but
that.
it's still carpeting. It's
Well-
just disgusting. But
Yeah.
the kids are like,
Then you gotta wash floors.
yeah,
there's
I mean,
a-
she could get an area rug.
She had an area rug.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so then-
Wondered whether she, it will.
but a laminate floor,
And then I wanna, before we decide anything, we should ask her whether,
What you want, yeah.
because you want something that would be warm for kids to sit on.
yeah, well, they have
And-
insulation under them, the laminate floor.
Yeah, but it's still not gonna be warm enough for kids.
It's not to sit on,
It's
that's-
not-
It's good to walk around on barefoot.
I can tell you. But she does have that other throat, that big rug that she can do all the sitting on, and then she could have the rest. But and it's not just, that room is used quite a bit by non-kids too. Not sitting on the floor usually, but they could be doing yoga down there and then on the floor, but, yeah. Yes.
I used to have Chester Democratic Committee meetings downstairs.
You
Now
know what,
more
what's
people
a
in
nice
there.
floor is the cork. Cork floor.
Depends on what you want
Frame,
to
all the ones that now.
Okay. All right,
That's the
so,
lowest maintenance you can get that works.
And hold on, all that other stuff that were from
those little kids.
the silent auctions that we did do a lot, or for us, we
Industrial
don't want to
type
get rid of
company that
it.
works with.
Ruins. And, but these were one that were originally purchased for a fundraising thing, or he donated them for a fundraising thing. But they never really could decide what to do, how to deal with them.
Okay.
So we're gonna talk about that in fundraising?
I don't know.
No, well, actually, no, is that, are we on to the next
Well, we have to approve,
The report.
the
the
report,
report? Yes.
yes, so, somebody wanna make a
I thought we just
motion?
have to accept them.
Motion to accept, I move that we accept the report. We
Seconded.
Okay, so,
Okay, now,
all right, so now we've done that.
committee report.
Okay, fundraising.
Okay, Jessie's so funny, she like she made a whole recording for me. I thought I'd do something, which I had most of it done, but just through Kindful. I did a report. Well, first off, the mailing, which, did everybody get one? It says postal,
Yes.
just the postal, okay.
Yeah.
So that went out November 10th to the, level. What's our zip code? 05143.
5143.
I have 50140.
Money back.
Okay, the postage and mail prep was, about $1,270. The printing the letters, two-sided. Was only, like $60 more than the single-sided, so we did that, so that was $476. Printing of the 2,500 envelopes, $270, and the remittance envelopes, $397, for a total of $2,413.71. Now, we still have, to create like cards, like last year, they were season greetings cards, and I guess Jesse did it with Snapfish for your
Yeah.
computer or something.
Yeah.
I didn't send this out, I thought I
What does it
did.
say?
I was gonna say, I put it all together and then I.
Like handful, because we've got a bill for $2,310.53.
I don't know.
Okay,
Oh, cheaper.
I just added this up in my head, or
Okay.
on my side, it came
Yeah.
to $2,413, so,
Hmm.
but that was the
Came out
breakdown.
to- yeah.
So to people, I pulled a report for the video that Jessica showed me. For donors that have contributed over $100 for the past few years,
Right.
like our larger donors. And last year she created a card, it's just this picture of the library that said season 3. So we will send those cards out specifically to those people, you know.
Yeah.
You know, we can do labels or we can.
It's 100 and,
$100 and over.
okay.
Is that done through this entity that did it, or did we do that ourselves?
Last year Jessie did it,
Oh,
or she ordered the cards through Snapfish. She said she came in and you get a credit card.
but we put the, we
I think,
signed
I
it or
just
something.
did I think we did labels.
I just
But if
did
it was
my,
somebody you knew, you
yeah.
wrote a note on it.
Oh,
I just did my Christmas cards with Snapfish and I got like 70% off.
Well, I looked on it today because I wanted to see what this is gonna cost. And it was like producing 60 cards
Mhm.
was $90 with 70% off.
Yeah,
And that was like, I just said, create your own. So that's what I was thinking. I would like to do a drawing, a line, take a picture of that line draw.
yeah, well, this was the other thing. I mean, that's nice too, but that,
Right.
I spoke to the woman who created that.
Right.
And she wants us to auction that off.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, but we could do that.
that's a centerpiece.
But I mean, I just
That's
think,
beautiful.
I think more people might see
But
it here.
she said, she was like, you know,
But
so
maybe-
that's why I'm.
That's how she did it.
And I think maybe, and a quote to auction off, but have more people see it here and then.
We could take a picture of it,
But then
frame
I
it.
think about that, even if you auction it off, even if you auction that off,
Yeah.
you're not gonna get what that's worth. You're not,
Wow.
that's worth thousands of
We
dollars.
had a contest on, because there's all words in there.
Yeah, Gail was showing me
Yeah.
before you guys.
Yeah,
got
that
there.
will- that-
Created that too.
Yeah, I know.
She said she's got so many contacts, you know, like fundraising contacts.
Oh, nice.
And
Linda, right?
Linda, yeah,
Yeah.
Linda.
yeah, that lady who lives in that house down
Yeah,
there.
right. yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love, but when we first did that and we sat at, I don't know, it was election day or something, and Matt and I sat there with that behind us. And I think we were having people fill out questionnaires on what we're doing the,
yeah.
Yeah,
whatever our
the long range plan.
long range plan was.
Right.
And, but anyway, so that would be good too. But she said who did when you did the,
Bookmarks.
bookmark, could you use Canva?
Yes.
Cause she said Lynn could make a card on Canva.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's easy enough.
Yeah,
Do it on
and like I
Snapchat,
said,
too.
well, that's just it, but you have to have an image.
Yeah.
Cause
Well, that's the thing. I just have to take a picture of something. If you want me to take a picture of that,
We probably
Or the-
have, I can send you. I mean, the thing is, I believe on my computer, I could find images of this that were taken, but the way,
yeah, that's beautiful.
think whatever camera was taken 10 years ago, it's gonna be much better now, so, yeah.
Now that could be auctioned off too, right? That's what,
Right,
so.
That's why,
I mean, we could really do a good fundraiser.
that's why they never did anything with it, because the board,
it's on the back.
the board never could decide what to do with that, like. Who to get, how to sell them, how to, it's like in
We can get
2017.
we can get somebody to estimate what that would be worth, like what's his name, John De Benedetti, who was a framing shop.
I thought it was
He and
Lou.
his wife probably,
But he
No,
was printing the plates.
Yeah, he did he drawing,
Yeah.
didn't he?
No,
Oh.
that is an old plate from 1888
Oh.
that the library has.
Oh, wow.
They use
Cool.
our
You
plate.
know, the lady who's got the place on the green, the end of the green, it's like an art gallery.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I bet she would know how we could.
yeah.
Or if she wanted to you know, we could make more of those and have her sell.
Probably could.
Right.
I know. Who knows?
Anyway,
Okay,
so
we're
for the 60 people, or 50, yeah, 60 people, it wasn't quite 60. Who donated, and I have a list, I did do a list. To produce 60 cards, I figure plus postage for the, one, you know, first class stamps. It would be like maybe. Yes, and so it would be like, you know, figure it would be like $150 high end to do that. Now, one thing I did notice, just because they're neighbors of ours, I did the whole spreadsheet of, and this is everybody. And it had a history of all their donations.
Oh,
The highest, the people who have donated $32,000 to this library over the years
oh,
is the Minces.
So they're the ones that do the
Really?
monthly.
Lowell?
No, Lowell Mintz,
wow.
our neighbor.
oh, I forgot.
His estate is between her place and our place. He's our technically next door neighbor.
Yeah.
And I was telling Peter this, my husband, he goes, you should have rule, tell me the next time the Minces are up so you can go over and thank them personally.
Yeah.
I said, I should, or we should like put a plaque in the library somewhere, say, Lowell and Sandy Mintz have donated in Manhattan.
They have it the Mince's room. or
It's
really.
a shelf.
Community room, I mean, but see, the thing is, to do that, even though they donated a lot. I mean, you really wanna cultivate your donors into like you could, and next time he's here, you could have him come and you could show him around things we've done. Then you could say we're doing this project.
Pretty
and-
old.
Yeah.
Oh, but,
Well,
you know,
they do $2,000 every December.
yeah,
$2,000 every December.
so it's too old maybe to come to the library.
And then I saw them the other day driving down, well, they come like limo in from Manhattan. But the second largest donation person was like 20,000 something, was of course not from Chester. I think the highest donation from Chester was like $7,000 or something like that.
Which is
Lifetime or
generous.
what, $7,000 one time?
Isn't there somebody, a big donor from Maine?
Yes, that was the second largest donor. Um.
Yeah, but I've seen other libraries that actually will like sell shelves. You know, like where you put a plaque. Like,
Oh, yeah, like
you know.
you see like
Like
people
the
break
Hudkins
calf
family.
and they get like
yeah,
their name in a bracket or something like that, yeah. They could have a book, you could put a shelf or something like that.
who knows? There's so many things.
But anyway, I thought that was interesting when I did that all up,
Yeah.
like, oh, man.
Thank you.
Over the history.
Okay.
All right, so anyway,
So
that's what the fundraising, oh, and I had different from what you had.
How much
Yeah.
did we make from the book sale?
About $4,000, wasn't it?
Now, this I have just from Kindful. Money that was designated as donations was 4,025. And money designated from fundraising, which was like, you know, mailing or something like that, was 6,717 for a total of 10,742. That did not count book sale then.
No, that is,
That's just,
and that yours isn't gonna have donations either.
well, this says, this is what was entered into Kindful as a donation.
Yeah, but I don't understand how, most donations you don't even get, you don't get to enter into Kindful. So I don't understand how what you're really talking about. Donations are things when people, they go into you're not necessarily,
Well, like it says, donated in memory of.
Right.
oh, that's what you do, but okay, what,
I don't know, I just get an email from Laura that says, this is a donation, this is.
yeah, but a
This is,
lot of donations don't come associated with a name, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
A lot of donations with, sometimes people pay a check. And then, but then she's still not gonna know what check, because we've only been putting she might be able sometimes to, if we don't have a lot of checks. But, you know, if they go in the cash register, but donations could be money, cash. So you're not gonna even have those.
Oh, no, I've had emails that said so-and-so dropped off $50 cash.
Not since I've been here.
Yeah, it was this past, I forget what the family was.
We don't do that. We just don't. I mean, I just know, I don't know how that happened.
Well, but that's what it was, came in as a donation, cash donation.
Yeah.
And it said $50 from this family, and they were already in the Kindful, so I just put, cause you can put whether it's a check, cash, or PayPal.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that QR code that I put on the bookmark
Brings you right to
takes us to what?
PayPal
Probably.
for the library, yeah, I tried it.
So can people make donations
I
to
get
that?
them all the time.
Yeah,
I mean,
so,
I was
yeah,
wondering because like, was that good to do, those bookmarks?
oh, yeah,
like that?
no, I think so, but I think when you get in there, and I didn't look, but does it say this is a donation
only if the people put it in there as
as
that,
a
but
donation?
So how did we separate people paying for books at the book sale and people making a donation?
well, I don't know whether anybody made a donation at the book sale through PayPal.
Paying for books.
They paid for books that way.
Right,
A few
but I
people
mean
did.
like after the book sale. Did anybody use that QR code?
Right. I don't know whether they used your QR code. You can do that. You could put, you could track QR codes so you can see how many people went from your QR code. Oh, cause we don't know whether they went, right now, we're not gonna know whether they went through your QR code or the QR code that's in the.
Well,
The
it wasn't
fundraising letter.
mine.
Well,
It was,
you were saying whether they were generated by the,
I just
No, in
wanted
other
to know
words-
if we got any kind of money.
from people, there's a percentage of people, there's a small percentage of people that regularly donate.
Like
Through
this says,
PayPal.
it says, there's a button on the webpage
Yeah,
that says donate.
yeah.
So you click on that. And I get
Okay,
trash,
to that.
and you connect to that, where did it go?
But
It brings you to PayPal. And then you can check, make this a monthly
Or-
donation,
one
or you
person
could
did
say
that by
donate
mistake.
with PayPal or donate with a debit or credit card. So does the same page come up if someone's buying a book?
yes, the same thing. Now, see
Then we should have something else that says buy a book.
no, we can't do that.
Because
It's
when we
not
had,
possible.
wait a second, Gail, hold on. When we had that QR code out there, people were using their phones to
That's silly.
scan it
But
for the book sale. And they were paying through that same QR code that was on the bookmark.
it doesn't matter because we
Yes,
get, no,
it's us.
no, it's not.
It does,
You want to know where it's coming.
Advantage, and I will explain to you that it does not matter. Because when every week I do the PayPal, Laura comes, picks it up. You know, usually there's like 5 to 10, usually about 5 PayPal transactions every week. And they're different things. And you can, you could generally tell. Sometimes there are ways you can put a note, see, look, in there, you can put a note in there and it says what it was, but not everybody does that. But you can still tell because if it's $25 and they have a non-resident library card that they just paid for, that probably is a non-resident library card. If it's for a random amount, it might have been, say, like, if it's $100, if it's a recurring one, if it's, we recently had one that was for $500. Those are all, like this one, $100. No, I'm going to, when I do this every week, that's gonna go down as fundraising. I have to track every dollar that comes into the library and put it in to one of these revenue sources.
Right.
Okay.
So.
See, now I understand your side of it, but Donna and my side of it as fundraisers, we want to know if we need to do those bookmarks again, was it worth it?
Well, I don't know whether
That's
it's
why.
And
they're
also,
still here, people can still pick them up and use them.
no, but what we're saying is we're trying to see where.
We can generate.
Where, all right, is like, okay, we just sent out 2,500 letters. Now, if they don't send back the thing in their little envelope, which in my mind, we should have put on the envelope November 2025, so we would have known that was the
That's a
fundraising
good idea.
time. Because sometimes when I look back at it, we sent out a letter last November, but we had a bunch of donations in after January.
All right.
Okay, so
Well,
were those, if they come in that envelope, you know, it's a fundraising thing.
we used to, when I first came, those extra envelopes were at the desk. We don't do that anymore, so if it comes in an envelope,
You know, it's a
it was
fundraising
fundraising. It
thing.
didn't used to be that way, but
But,
we have done that.
right,
Having a date on there sounds like a good idea. But if you really want to check, like, what's that bookmark a good idea? The only way to tell that is to track how many people use that QR code, and you have to do it that way, so
so
that.
you would have to look
it's
at those
counter.
dates.
Like, who did the QR code for you? Was that a Bitly or what, how'd you get the code?
Oh, what?
What software did you use to make the code?
I just used what was, the library.
Then I could probably look, if you use the libraries, I could probably go back and look and see.
Yeah, that's why when
That
you were
was-
saying it was my QR code, I was like,
Okay.
"I don't know."
Okay, 'cause that one probably is Bitly, and I think you can track that, and I could probably send
You're
you.
probably like, the
Yeah, I just.
book
used
sale was on the September 23rd, 24th, 22nd, 23rd. You can probably see whatever, so those were people
Yeah.
using it on that date.
Yeah, no, I just used the
Yeah.
QR code
Okay.
for the library.
Whether the laminate, putting a QR code on the bookmark, it's a QR code on a lot of places.
Right.
I put it because it's a simple thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost much to put, just the only thing that, it's the laminating that, and you cutting them out, that extra step.
Yeah, well, I didn't
That-
charge anything.
Thank you. But I think that's where the thing is to make sure that a donation that's not from a fundraiser is different. I think we should just put it all, lump it together,
Yeah, I think
book
so.
sale, part of fundraising,
I don't wanna do, because we definitely wanna know.
well, that's.
Wanna know whether book sale, which is a lot of work,
Yeah.
wanna know.
Yeah.
Whether it's worth it, like what you just said.
Right.
But the difference between fundraising and
And donation.
Betsy wanted to keep it separate. But the difference between them, it is hard for us sometimes staff to decide. But really what I do, we just had a discussion about this recently, what I do is only, especially right now when you guys are so high on the fundraising and we're low on the donations. Even if someone who regularly donates when they do the, your appeal, if they come in outside of those appeals and drop off a check, I count that as donation.
Right.
But some staff members would do it, but honestly, when it's $30, it's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
But if you're gonna make a special fundraising effort, you wanna know whether it was worth it or not.
Right.
You want
That's
to
a
know
return on
how
investment.
much came out of that.
Right.
But it wouldn't be everything all the time, but if there's a special fundraising event, or like these letters. that
Yeah,
we
so
have,
we
that
spent,
sort of thing.
$300.
Okay,
Whether
so
it
we
was-
can say what the return is on our investment.
Exactly.
That's
Then-
called the return on
That's
Kind of basic
what, that's what Jesse,
fundraising ABC.
Jesse, I thought I heard Donna said she'd like to lump them together. I might have misunderstood that.
No, I think we should lump it
But-
together.
I think we should.
It wouldn't have that. You wouldn't be able to tell that. You
Right.
wouldn't be
No,
able
I
to.
mean, as far as, I don't mean. Not that we don't need to, we don't wanna know if a fundraiser. Return on
Is
investment is successful, but if we get money in here and there, we're not sure where it's from, throw it in there.
Right.
Like, it's not
As long as we have.
$30,000,
So,
I mean,
Yeah,
I
Okay.
mean, that's. I think.
okay, so we're done with fundraising committee. We're gonna policy.
The policy
Here.
committee.
Right, but next year we're gonna put the date on the envelope,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay,
that was my input.
okay, that's good, that's good.
That's good.
Well, that's like when I send thank you letters, I will write well, when I used to do the cards, I used to write like November 25. Or something.
Have it, or when you're.
When I sent them the cards, the thank you notes, now I
So,
send letters, but now I just send letters that say, thank you for your information, or whatever the standard letter is that we have, but we don't do the thank you cards anymore.
You could put the date on the letter.
Oh, yeah, I date the
So-
letter, has a date on it. Yeah.
that season's greetings card that we're talking about doing, should we put season's greetings 2025 on it? You know, so we just start establishing
Yeah, but
dates.
what do you do for the envelope?
Do we
in
put,
that?
I was gonna say, do we put an envelope in with
Did you
it?
do that last year?
Why not?
I don't remember.
We have
If
it.
you're doing this.
Yes, there are some.
But you
Yeah,
can hand, you can
Yeah, we could
handwrite
just
it.
handwrite.
You can handle it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The. Oh, yeah. That's the only policy committee, would be, the only policy right now would be in the personnel policy,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
Penny said she would.
I'll take a shot at making it consistent, for
Right.
one thing. There were some redundancies in there.
Right.
There were some ways to simplify things.
Right.
And there were a couple of places I wanted to ask you, because I didn't know what you were talking about. What is this thing with confidentiality that you're not allowed, staff shall treat all patrons fairly and equitably without bias or discrimination, and shall maintain the confidentiality of all library patrons? What are we talking
In other
about?
words.
The law, their
it's the
identity,
law.
you know, because
It's the law.
sometimes people will come into the library and fill out a job application.
And that would be, they're not patrons. I
No,
know
no,
that.
but we are,
Well,
that's the thing, people check out, anything that, we have, that's the law. We have to.
Oh, so like, what if somebody came in and said, give me a list of all the books that.
Oh, no, but you might say something about, it's Julie, I love this new book. Julie just said it was the best thing she'd ever
Oh,
read.
no.
You can't say that. Okay.
It's not like the bookstore, it says, here's the staff.
Yeah. I didn't know. I'm wondering, you know, it's like there's some knowledge of
Well,
confidentiality.
there's stuff that like, you know, Gail sent us bunches of
Yeah,
different, that we kind of went through and said, well, we need to have this, we need to
Yeah.
have this, we need to have this, we
Yeah.
need to have.
No,
We need to have this, we
obviously,
don't
yeah,
need to have
if
this.
ICE comes in and says, I want this,
Whatever.
well, that's different. They don't run with
Yeah.
forms. They just show up and,
That is
Yeah.
the same thing with confidentiality, we can't do anything without a warrant. I have a couple questions.
yeah.
That I think, when I was reading, some things, I guess, you know, I think that, well, right here, first off, when it talks about time cards,
What page are you on?
the time, I don't know, I remember.
That's another thing. They need to be
Page three.
paginated, and I,
Page three, okay, so,
where's the?
it says here, the director's time sheet shall be approved by the board of trustee chair. Now, hey, I'm having, with that, we've never done that, it's been very time consuming.
Yeah.
What you might want to do instead, is say, the board will regularly review time sheets. So, I mean, because
Okay,
the
wait
we,
for you, though.
Aren't you
Yeah.
salary though?
Yeah.
yes, but it says here that, I mean, I turn my time sheet in, still have to turn
She
a time
still,
sheet.
she turns in a
I
time.
have to turn it,
Oh.
to keep track of things,
Right, but
I have to turn one in, but they don't have,
It's
I
not-
sign my own.
Right.
And
Right.
then that's the way I think it's always been done. Now, trustees might wanna look at it to make sure I'm not. Yeah.
You know, you can say,
it's gonna be
the
really
trustee
fun.
shall have the right to review the
Yeah.
director's time sheet.
Yes, right.
But not put an obligation
Yeah,
if you're
right.
not doing it.
I'm consuming.
If we don't, we know you, we trust you,
Yeah.
and your
Well,
salary,
things
so
that when
it
we-
doesn't make a difference.
Right, no, yeah, we can change the wording on that.
Yeah. There's work breaks. You guys have them turn mentioning how long the work breaks are. I think in the previous one it did.
So there-
What we do is
Did it say anything about?
because if you don't say,
Right.
people are gonna take as long as they want. And the way we do it now is 30 minutes. 30 in Vermont, a 30-minute one has to be paid. They're paid. You don't think it's long enough? What?
What,
What do you think it's 15?
What do you? But yeah, I don't know what
your
15-minute lunch break?
No, 15-minute rest break
We had
every
this.
4 hours.
How?
But she's talking about.
Oh, no, I thought that, I thought, when I see break, I just think that's,
But she was
let me
talking
run
about
to the-
lunch.
It's several and unpaid breaks during the day according to Vermont law. Well, Vermont law, I think it's if you work more than 5 hours, you have to have lunch. And if you work less, you like 4 hours, you have to
You
have
get a-
50 minutes.
Yeah, right.
So that's what we,
15 minutes.
15,
Yeah,
that's what we do. So like if you work only 15, like 5 hours,
Right.
4 hours,
15-minute
15.
break, right.
But, and you could take longer, but you're not getting paid because this is paid. I just think that you might wanna kind of specify that.
Specify
But they-
15 minutes.
Well,
after.
yeah,
And
15
a
minutes
lunch,
after.
and a lunch break, right? Is that, that's.
oh, 7 hours. Most people are, Carrie and I are working 7 hours.
Right, but how long do you take for lunch?
Half hour usually.
Yeah,
But I mean, we need to have more than a 15, I mean, we need maybe 15 minutes, I guess, cause.
So you take a morning break, a lunch break,
But
and
not
an
everybody
afternoon.
always takes the breaks, but we
right,
could,
but that, I mean, that's,
That's kind
when
of
I worked
standard,
with the
right?
yeah,
unions,
yeah,
it was
we
like,
could.
you had,
Yeah, you could.
after
and so then,
every 3 hours,
with its employee benefits and leave policies,
we got 15 minutes.
it says all non-temporary staff, okay, that would be like the substitute.
Correct.
Okay, good, so, that's still a little confusing to me, because I was thinking they could easily work 18 or more hours per week. And 20 weeks in a 12-month period. A substitute could easily work that.
Right, but they're a
Yeah.
substitute, they're not,
But
they're not a regular employee.
see, it's to say kind of all non-temporary staff, it's all regular
Why
employees.
shouldn't you have an HR lawyer and an HR person?
And-
putting it together?
To catch that stuff.
Someone who's not a regular employee, in other words.
Is Nikki a
You don't-
volunteer?
No, she's a substitute.
On-call,
She's paid as an on-call.
because, I mean, it seems to, yes, but she sometimes comes in here when somebody's not gone, because we need an extra body. So we call her on-call substitute, maybe,
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Just on-call.
I just didn't,
But,
wasn't sure.
So, the other thing, here where it says about benefits. I guess what I'm trying here, all benefits provide, it says all non-temporary staff who work regularly 18 or more hours are eligible to receive the following benefits. Now, this is a little confusing to me. I know it said full-time there, but it makes it, when you read this, it looks like and it might be what you mean, that you work
All
18.
non-temporary
I
staff
know, but
who
then,
work 18 hours, so that would be Kale.
I know, but did she get this, it makes it
No.
look like that.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
All non-temporary staff who regularly work 18 hours or more per week.
I got that part,
More than
that's hard,
20
I get that.
weeks in 12
I got that.
eligible to receive the following benefits.
And one of the following benefits is healthcare supplemental stipend.
Are full-time
I know, but it
only.
doesn't say what full-time is. So it's
The
just.
government
it's just-
states
it's-
full-time.
No, come on, it's Vermont, and
Well,
it's
the
30
government-
hours, I
yeah.
think 28 here, I think we should do, I think.
It's 30 hours.
I think it's.
Part-time.
It
30
was
no, it's-
30,
What kind? So
it
what's
was
part-time?
30, anything less.
Anything under.
Anything
Other
left.
than under,
So, I mean,
Like technically Kale, she gets paid holidays. Most other places she wouldn't get paid
Yeah.
holidays because she's
Part-time.
part-time.
see, and also here, it says retirement benefit, does she get the retirement benefit? It didn't,
No,
to me, it doesn't
because
say that here.
because she's part-time.
She's not.
It doesn't say that,
She works 18 hours a
but
week.
you didn't know that.
Only for
It doesn't
Not sure what you're talking about. What?
It's only for full, it says right here.
Where are we?
Stipend, not
The benefit.
All staff hired,
You know, where it says
okay,
full
all
and part-time.
full-time staff. Okay.
Where is
all-
that exactly?
Where is that?
Under retirement benefit, page
I
3,
mean, and we could offer.
should say all
Sure.
full-time
Okay,
staff.
You have to stop talking for a second. We have to figure this out.
Okay,
All
retirement.
full-time.
benefit. Up here,
It should
all staff hire, yeah, I wondered about this.
It's
It
all
makes sense to me.
full-time staff.
Okay,
Okay, so just reword that so it's proper.
full-time
Clear.
staff,
Yeah.
and that is 30 hours per week or more?
Yeah,
Correct.
okay, so then the last thing, two things. Then I,
Quiet, going on.
when,
Hold on a
Sorry.
second.
Well,
Hold on,
let me
okay.
just, there was
Let her
another
think.
question on this one. Whatever I do is just gonna be another draft anyway, so you have a chance to
Right.
fiddle with it. it's, the other thing that I wondered about was current employees may avail themselves of this benefit. So if,
Which one?
If
Full-time
you-
employee, the retirement?
but this would only be current employees which were hired before
As of,
July
you need to say that,
21,
because when
2024.
You need to say that,
When we.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because this didn't make sense.
but you still need to say that because
Current
2
employees,
years,
yeah.
it wouldn't be current employees, a new person that might say,
And
take as a current employee,
current
as a.
employees hired, current full-time employees,
Yeah.
full-time employees hired prior to 7/1/24
Right.
may avail themselves of
Right,
this
so in
benefit.
other words,
Yeah,
when
that
the
makes sense,
state,
yeah.
the state. There's some funky thing with the law
Right.
that
I don't know,
librarians,
by the way.
that librarians,
Mhm.
even though they don't meet the requirement for state employees, they're state employees, so they
Oh,
can have
okay.
retirement.
Right, right, right.
Okay, so.
Oh, this is the
because
state retirement
This is
plan?
the state retirement plan, so,
Vermont
what
municipal
we did-
employees, right.
Right.
Vermont, right.
It's employee.
right,
Group B
but
plan, right.
you work for, right, there's,
Yeah.
I have
You
like,
work for
I have the
there,
info from the State Library Association.
That
It
makes
says-
sense, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Because
it
we're
gets us.
municipal
Yeah.
library, but not part of the
Right,
town. That's
right,
why
right.
they're allowed to-
So, because they said, okay, you can have this, and supposedly they sent info to Carrie and Gail, and they could sign up for it.
Mhm.
They both said they never got it.
Oh, okay.
Well, I might have got it, but I don't.
They don't remember.
But they.
No, I didn't want it.
Oh,
She
okay.
didn't-
So I didn't pay
Okay,
attention
but
to it.
anybody,
You were hired before then anyway,
Yeah,
so you would choose
but
whether
any
you
new
wanted to or
employee,
not.
if we should hire a new full-time employee,
Right,
It's not a choice.
it's not a choice.
Yeah.
right.
You have to do it.
So, and the other
That's,
thing,
I get that now, that was, that's one of the ambiguities I spotted in here. I don't know what this means.
yeah, and I'm actually gonna give it to Kale, which would have been okay, but it changed the budget.
No,
So,
No,
It
Christine's only part-time.
yeah, but it would have, the biggest thing, it would have really changed the budget. So that's why.
And
Well, the
you
thing
can't
is,
get it.
I noticed that you didn't put it in the budget, but it probably should be.
That was gonna ask you about that.
Because, yes, we might not hire somebody new, but if we do,
But-
it should be in the budget.
No, but it's,
how much is
it's
it
good.
good?
It's 2,000 a person sort of. But the thing is, like, last time when I took the budget to the town, that did come up, that we had that in there. Even
Because
though
they
we weren't
approved it.
using it,
They
and no,
approved it,
but
though.
nobody was using it. And they were saying that we would have more money if we took that out. And I said, I said, I believe you need to have it.
Okay.
No, but we don't, but you could still choose to, if you wanted to, if you hired somebody else, just use the money from the extra money having the two from account to pay for it. You would have to pay for it. That would be to,
I don't
that you
know.
would make, we could put it in the budget, it doesn't matter.
Let's not talk about, I don't know if that's
It should
legal.
be in there whether we.
Yeah, I had one other question.
So I think that's what Julie wanted it to be.
Well, I have more than one, but I had one other burning question I think needs to be fixed in here. When you talk about paid time off, PTO,
Mhm.
the only way you talk about it is by the week. Now, there's also provision for people to take 1, 2, 3 days off, so they wouldn't get a week's worth. What happens, what kind of compensation do they get if they take 1 day off? Is it their equivalent of 1
Yeah,
day's
but
pay?
maybe to make that clear.
Yeah, it's not in there. It only says PTO for the week.
What I think that's saying is we calculate how much they get based on what the regular week is. I mean,
Right.
not,
Right.
so like, you get what you get, but then you get those hours. You
Right.
work 30 hours a week, you get 30 hours.
Yeah, so
Right.
she's getting.
But let's say somebody works 4 days a week and they work 5 hours a day, 20 hours a
So they
week.
get 20
So
hours.
that's their,
But if they take 1 day of PT,
Well, I
they
think
get-
that,
so that would be 5 hours.
yeah, right, they'd get 5 hours for it.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
But this only talks about getting it by the week and getting the equivalent of the number of hours you regularly would work
it's only
during the week.
talking about how, what it's not talking about is how you spend it.
That's how you accrue it.
Yes, I think that's what you're reading. some places here we should talk about how you spend
Yeah,
it.
but you can't, it's too, you can't do them separately.
I
You
know,
can't
but
say
that's
it
the point.
accrues at $30, 30 hours a week, but you've got, you're not gonna, yeah, but
It's huge
how
how
much of
much-
that do you get if you
You
take 1 or 2 days, how do you use it? How much do you have to pay?
Insane, you
Yeah.
need to put a sentence in there that you can
Right,
take,
yeah.
like, do we allow people to take 15 minutes? I mean,
Only need 15,
but I'm telling you, that's the thing,
No,
it's a thing,
yeah.
you could take
No, no, no.
them
How do
at
you do
a
it?
minimum of an hour increments, or what,
No.
but why not?
No,
You're
because it's
saying-
not written and.
You
we're
don't
not-
wanna get, you do not wanna get into the weeds of.
No, you don't want to. The second day,
Day
you
off.
don't take a day.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can take half days, nobody can take half days.
I
You
don't know.
can't take a half day off? I think everybody's always taking a half
You
day off.
get,
Like
okay,
a doctor's
that's
appointment or something.
so if you make $20 a day and you wanna take a half a day off, then you get 10 hours.
You know, it's
Ten-
good
ten-
when people are punching a time card,
Yeah.
you know, cause it's easier to keep, cause I mean,
Right.
I could have done that at my job, cause I punched a time card.
Yeah.
And I could have left an hour early, and they would just deduct that hour out of my vacation time or my sick
Right,
time or
right.
whatever it is. But here, where it's kind of just,
And unless it's, if it's more than, oh, I wanted to ask you too.
but we could buy a minimum, where you can only use, half day.
Right, but well,
You don't do it, but
let's put it this way, if you, because I used to have to do the payroll and I know it's the same system that they have in town.
but we don't use it.
Okay,
They don't keep track of any of our days, time off, paid,
you should
PTO,
be.
they don't.
Well,
They
if you
never have.
have on the timesheet, if you take a sick day, you should put that you took however many
We do
days
put
an
it on
hour.
the time card, but they don't keep track of it. We
It's,
keep track.
it's in the system. You don't get on your thing that says that you've taken this much time.
No,
It doesn't say it on your paycheck?
No,
Doesn't say. that
There's
you're-
no,
they don't keep track of that at all. For one thing, they would have to ask us how much, they've never asked, we never.
Because it's
They've never
it's in
asked
the
us.
system, it says what you're paid per hour.
How do
You
you,
were paid, but
No,
not.
you can-
not-
that's
Well,
all,
then you're paid.
paycheck always had my time, you know, vacations.
yeah, I never
Right.
know.
All right, so if you,
What was
if,
it?
But you have to get it.
if Carrie took a day off
Know that it's available.
and she wrote
I don't know what's available.
pay time off,
Uh-huh.
when she turned it, she only worked 4 days instead of 5 days. It doesn't, what happens to her paycheck? She's paid for 4 days instead of 5 days, or she's paid for 5 days, she's
And then she deducted.
paid time off.
Right.
It's on their time off, paid PTO,
Yeah,
but they don't keep track of it. They
Yeah, but
don't
it's
write it.
in their, if you go through it by overtime, somebody's gotta keep track.
I do,
And
I do,
it's okay, because you have to approve theirs,
I keep.
so
track
that
of
you
it.
have to know how much they have coming.
I gotta check with.
How do we know how much
find
you
this
have
out?
coming, because the
Because
yours.
when I did the payroll. There was a thing that said you entered to pay, you know, it was your, well, with their, they had it sick time or vacation time or whatever.
Right.
That's how it's entered, like 8 hours
Yeah.
goes into vacation time
Right,
and that's what it would say.
right.
And it would keep track, so I know the payroll systems they have, cause it's the same one.
What?
I keep track of the cards.
I'm gonna check it.
What I may do when I
They
get
don't
into those
checks.
if I have real questions about what you mean to say, is I'll send out an email to
Okay.
you guys.
Okay,
And I can tell you it won't happen next week, because I'm gonna be at my daughter's. Thanksgiving.
When I was looking at, going over this today, I think because of some changes in the, Vermont law and PTO, because we do have, you have to give a certain amount of, sick leave, which we do, give that much.
Good, because I don't know what the law is, I'm assuming it's a law.
I've read that they have to be able to carry it over, and we do not allow carryovers. And I think the law now is that
I don't think so.
for sick time, you have to be able to carry.
I mean, they're allowed to carry it over at Dakin and Benelli, and I didn't,
Yeah.
I never.
I've worked for many different
Didn't
companies,
use it,
and
I
one
got
company you
Yeah.
can carry it over and
But-
only a certain amount of hours, but it's not, in the
But
state of Vermont, for teachers, it was not required.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
if
I
the
think
law
that
has changed now,
changed a lot.
that up.
Yeah.
I need to look up to see whether employees can carry over.
And carry
Yeah.
over to the next year, which
Yeah,
I always had.
You know,
we've had years and years of sick
Yeah.
time.
what it may
Well,
be
see, I
is
can only- we can only,
contingent on the number of them.
Like, carry over so
It
much.
may be, a lot of the
Maybe at the end,
rules
when
are
you were
contingent on the number of
retire,
employees
You
you
don't
have.
use all of that
What
time,
do you have
you
altogether?
know?
4.
Okay,
But, the other thing is, I think, I don't know where it says on here, but when I talk about paid time off and giving leave, this is where you're talking about it. It talked about you only have to have this, I think this is what you were talking about, where you have to only request time off, approval for a scheduled PTO of 1 week or more shall be required. Oh my goodness, so you think we should have approval for less than 1 week?
well, that's what it says, that's what I
It
wondered.
says, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
you have
you
to
should.
make sure that someone's there to cover.
Yeah, and
that's
that's
all.
Like 3 days, sweet.
1 day.
Yeah.
After that.
Well,
Yeah, well, if everybody takes off that one day.
If I say to, if I was taking a day off and I knew ahead of time, cause I wasn't sick, I would tell my boss, I'm taking this day off.
But this says you don't have to ask for approval until you take a week off.
I agree, and that's a
Yes.
problem, cause I saw that.
Okay.
And I said, what if somebody
One
wants
week.
3 days off? That's a big hole in your schedule.
Okay.
No, and you should offer
Or,
approval.
it's okay, you'll,
But do you want any, or do you want some,
I think
you want
any.
like 1 day, or does it?
No, I think-
No, I'll say
Okay.
that.
I mean, we'll probably give it, but I think any
Okay.
scheduled PTO,
Okay.
I think that's true. The next
Oh,
most
schedule,
important.
yeah, yeah, because people are always gonna have emergencies, but you know, come to think of it. If the state law says that you can carry over sick time, but not other time, we don't differentiate that.
We don't, but
It's just PTO.
but sick time is
So
all
how are
that's
you gonna know?
I know, I don't have any idea.
You don't have to tell them what you were using it for.
But
My reason.
I think that you should look that up and do more research, but I saw it in a few places.
But, and I'm
That
concerned
it's-
about that.
That you had to, because there was a new law.
I've always just had paid time.
Well, you know,
I know, but.
It didn't matter what I was for.
This is the kind of, this has been submitted to an attorney who hasn't responded,
Yeah.
that's right? Well, when we wanna put this in here, and it talks about carrying over sick time, but we say we don't want to carry it over the PTO. How do we resolve this? Because the PTO is the sick.
Unless
time.
we just give.
Unless we're gonna have to say,
Unless we
Yeah.
give.
Unless-
department
we're gonna have to do
3 days sick
vacation
time.
and
And then you've got a whole new ball of wax in here.
And I think that's what the town does, and actually that would make it easier to work with the town on there.
So like sick time you get, and then
Because
you
I
get,
think,
but that's, well, we lump everything into PTO, everything's in.
yeah, and, I mean, I
So-
think that the Vermont they do not require vacation time at all, but they
Right.
do require a small amount of sick time
Yeah.
based on, I don't know, percentage.
We used
of
to
your-
accrue at the law office, it didn't matter to Bill and me, because virtually never took any anyway, we're salary, but for the wage receiving employees, it was 1 day a month they earned for sick time. I think that's what it was. So that they could use it, and it did carry over. Because
Yeah,
sometimes
where I
people
was,
were out sick for a long time, really had serious problems. And they could take a month to get paid for the whole sick time if they really were sick. We had people who were in the hospital, surgery and stuff, and they could use up sick days. But you couldn't use sick days for anything else.
No.
That you didn't buy them out. If they left, they didn't get paid for all those sick days they didn't take.
Yeah.
We never paid for sick days people didn't take, but they did carry over. And maybe there's a limit. I've seen some employers
No, I
have a
mean,
limit on how much
I
can
was
be
gonna say,
carried
granted, that
over.
this was 100 years ago.
Yeah.
I used to-
I have,
It was like
this is-
depending how long you worked
Yeah.
with the company, depending on how many.
this stuff up, because
What I,
not something I know.
what I'm seeing, but it could be wrong, is that the law said you have to, you
Where's
get,
the law? What's it say?
I don't got the number, I'm just getting a description of it, so that you, but I could look for it for you, it said you get
Okay,
1 hour for every 52 hours of worked, including overtime. And, employees can cap the amount of sick leave an employee can use to 40 hours per year. Although the unused time must be carried over.
okay.
Unused sick time must be carried over to the next year, but the employer can limit the annual usage to 40 hours. That's what it says.
Can, the annual usage,
You could,
Oh,
so you
okay.
can make more, but you can only use 40, I mean. If you wanted to do that, you could do that, I don't,
I would just say if it's to look up first if it's legal, because that's not something, I mean, unless it's a brand new law, it's not anything to do with the state stuff.
it is a brand new.
And that's,
about-
I believe the laws are,
And
they're changing all the time.
Last
And
year when we were doing.
These are laws I know.
Maryland about calculated, I mean, she didn't do the thing about the carryover, but she did did a calculation to make sure that we were giving enough sick time to people, because this is a new law.
Right. So, but
Okay.
this is sick time and vacation.
As far as it's, I know.
But
So-
we should, do we wanna do that? We wanna look at sick time and vacation time instead of
Well, we
calling it
wanna look at the
PTO.
law.
Well, does
Okay.
that mean that we reduce paid time off? So that means we're giving people more time.
No, I mean, you don't have to, I mean, first you gotta find out about.
I mean, we gotta find, yeah,
And then-
what's legal.
And then,
Let's see what other, I'll see what other we could look up, see what other libraries are doing.
if it's required to do that,
If there's any
You could-
guidance from the state.
you
Yeah, the
could
state library.
divide it up so that you take the minimum out and make that sick. And then the other, you can even call it PTO, but you got like a dedicated sick time, you could.
I mean,
Well, if
we
that's the
added,
way the town
which we
does
didn't
it,
have before, we
They-
added, bereavement, which we
Yeah,
didn't have
right.
before, we added.
what does the town?
I think the
have?
town uses vacation and
They,
sick.
they have vacation.
If there's a requirement for sick time to be carried over, you're gonna have to designate sick time.
Okay.
There's no way, you can't just do PTO, or you'd have to carry over all of it, because all of it is potentially
I
sick
took
time.
40 hours, so no matter
Well,
what,
you could limit it to that, but it doesn't say that you can,
I know, but like I'm saying, if you limit it to only 40 hours, you would.
you said you could limit it so they could only use 40
No, I
hours.
thought it said, that's not, I gotta look
I
at it.
think that's what you
Gotta
said.
look, you might have, you gotta look at it.
I'll find it, well, I'll look it up. Now, when's our next meeting? Because I'll try to get this all done before then, but I'm not even gonna be back in town.
Hey guys, one more thing, sorry,
Yeah, go ahead.
the months ago, when Marilyn was here, before you started working on the whole policy, you drafted just the holiday policy part.
Mhm.
And it said something a little different, I just wanna let you know, I went by a little bit what it said, because this says Whiting Library may close early on Thanksgiving Eve, Christmas Eve, and New Year's Eve, anytime more than 2 hours before regular time period needs to be compensated. Basically, it's saying that you close with the director's
Approval.
approval, that close 2 hours on those rates.
On the eve.
Sure, but that's not in this policy. And
Uh-huh.
based on what this was, because this year, Christmas Eve is like the Thursday, and we worked till 7. Do we want to make work for?
No,
till 7?
you do
I
not
know.
work till 7, I'm just making.
Closed at 4.
Do you have one of the letters, the fundraising letters? Cause I think that something was kind of screwy about that on the back of the letter,
Well, we could find one.
you know?
I just brought a box of all the extras.
Cause I think that there was something weird about.
It might have been. I mean, there might have been.
I can't believe you didn't pick it up before. It's something.
No, we always did, we always gave people up, we always let them go right afternoon. But
Yeah,
that
but-
was,
I mean,
we
that's
didn't
good.
have that, what you have, we had different kind of importance.
Yeah, man, but we could have, and I think that's what we used to do, but it wasn't in the policy, so like we were just doing what it said until
Right.
we did a new policy.
Right, right.
It's,
Holiday closures.
but I might have made it say,
Yeah, on Wednesday, November 26th, Thursday, December 25th, and Thursday. Wait, so Thursday, December 25th, so you're gonna close Christmas Day?
that should probably be the 24th.
Right.
Yeah, I think the one I
I
said,
thought I saw
I
something weird.
I think
Something
I
just-
sent,
Oh, okay, okay. Right,
I
right.
sent one, and then I immediately sent another one and made it, and I think the wrong one. Because I figured that might happen.
One of them would close early, at 4 P.M. on Wednesday, November 26th. Yeah, no, you're not open, it says down here. you're not open.
You're working Christmas Day.
Thursday, December 24th, yeah,
No,
and
yeah,
Thursday, December 31st.
yeah, so I think most people would figure it out.
Whiting Library will be closed on Thursday, November 26th.
So I did it at 4 o'clock the way that I kind of went.
Yeah, that's a typo.
Yeah.
It should be 24 instead
Yeah,
of
I made a
25.
mistake.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That people will understand that. They will say, oh, typo.
So anyway, it's like at the director's discretion. I remember us discussing.
It wasn't here, but it didn't make the final policy. It's here. I don't know.
Oh,
Here.
What time do you wanna close on Christmas Eve?
I think I said 4. I think we said 4 because that's what
What
that
time do you
policy said.
usually close?
Well, last year we did the regular time because that's what you guys, the board said. That, so we did, but
But
it
what
was.
time are you
no, I
open
think we said if you wanna leave early, you
No,
can do that, but.
no.
you
All right,
don't-
so
You
what-
didn't get,
I think
you
you
did,
said, did you get?
but we
still
had,
pay
people
you
had
for
to
the day?
take, people had to take time, vacation time off and they didn't want, nobody wanted to do that.
What-
So, we worked, but it wasn't a Thursday night. And I don't remember what day it was. I don't really remember what day of the week it was.
One of the things you have here, Vermont celebrates Indigenous Peoples' Day, but the federal government still calls it Columbus Day.
Right.
So, and you're talking about federal holidays.
But we,
So I would put,
you could slash or
Slash.
something.
yeah.
That one didn't make the final. That was the original draft. But the reason I wanted, I don't know whether it was in the
Okay.
final
Yeah.
one. It's some dates, holidays
Mhm.
that like fall on the weekend and you pick a different date to do it. I wanna go with the federal one. I don't know, there was an example of a day that was maybe the holiday was on I can't
You
even
don't
remember what
take
it was.
federal Bennington Day off. and
No, we
stuff
don't.
Anyway,
No,
do
We
you?
don't.
No, but it was, I don't understand what you're talking about.
Well, there was a day, probably a Veterans Day, there was a day when I first came. That everybody, we had posted that we were gonna be closed on a day.
Mhm.
Because that was the day of the holiday.
Right.
But that wasn't the day the bank, and the post office would celebrate, and the federal government
Well,
would
it's-
celebrate
It's
the holiday.
Memorial Day. Vermont celebrates it on May 30th, and the federal holiday is Monday.
To just pick
And they're very often different.
whatever
days.
it is that the federal uses when it's like that.
Okay, that's what I did not know that. I always just figure it's the Monday.
The Monday is federal holiday, but Vermont still sticks to the 30th.
Yeah.
That's why the 30th is when they have their parade up and down here. And Bill Dakin would always have, because he was a veteran, we were always out there on the porch on the 30th for whatever was going on, because it didn't matter what day of the week it was. If it was a work day, we were out there. Yeah, that's what it was. But if you're doing the federal holidays, and I would, because that's what most people take anyway.
Right.
And there are local things that happen on the 30th, but the
Right.
holiday weekend
Right.
is the one that people
Right.
take, and it's the federal one.
Right.
Yeah. Which means,
Okay,
so,
Are we done with the policy for now?
for now, yeah,
okay.
I'm definitely gonna run into more questions, because I ran into some of this stuff. It
Well, you
didn't make a
can
whole lot of
ask me,
sense
because
to
I
me.
might have the original stuff now.
It's great that you're reading it and doing that, because if you'll catch other things that are
Right.
not clear.
Yeah.
And you know, because there were some things in there that I got that.
Anytime I wrote something to send to a court, I had I either
Oh, yeah, I
had
know.
Bill can read it, or I had Doreen or another assistant read it. Because you always found things where I put the sentence structure in there and I knew what I was saying. But they didn't know what I was saying. And it's just, this read to me like a draft.
Right.
It really needed editing.
Yeah.
And then some of the stuff I just plain didn't understand because I don't know how it works, and this has been helpful. And
Okay.
and I'm sure that whatever I come up with is still gonna have things you're gonna question, because you know the system far more than I do. But then at least there'll be fewer things to tweak.
And
Okay.
you know, the way I look at it, doesn't actually have to be perfect, because we can fix it.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, yeah, but I
add
mean,
to
the
it,
draft
add
should
to it,
be.
but
Oh, yeah,
it's
it's
wrong.
You know, it's a big.
It's a living
Yeah.
document that can always be updated.
Right.
No, we don't wanna have things in there that are wrong, you know, like
Right,
legal
or that don't make sense or that are inconsistent, or, yeah, we wanna have it
Okay, so now it's 8:15.
yeah. Well, let me ask you one more quick question on this. Does anybody have a version of this that's like not a PDF?
Yeah, I had the Word document.
Oh, great. If you could, thank you. That'll save me having to retype it all before I get started. Thank you. That's it. Sorry.
Thank you, Penny. We appreciate you doing that. Okay, so are we gonna do executive session?
Do we need to?
We have to discuss filling Jessica Cross vacancy. Does anybody have any recommendations?
There was, did you talk to that?
She's away.
Oh.
There's
Who
some
lies
people,
I think, and I sent her an email and she didn't answer me and then, and now I know they're on vacation.
Yeah.
So I would feel,
Well,
she
you
didn't
know-
answer me.
I would really like to get in touch with Tanya. Do you know Tanya? Wonderly?
Oh,
Was Wonderly.
but
Wait, no, it is Wonderly, yes.
Not Wonderly, Tuck Wonderly moved though.
No, this is his,
Not related?
this is his
Oh.
stepmother,
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
Tonya.
okay,
well, I don't know her.
I don't either.
What
But
about,
she's married to Scott Wonderly. His wife.
That Wonderly who's getting married again? Janet,
No, not Jana, that was that was
first.
the first one. Yeah. She just got a job at Springfield Hospital.
married.
cause he asked us to use the wagon for his wedding.
Yeah, I could not keep up.
Maybe they do that,
I
well,
can't
you
keep
do a
up.
big wedding.
All right, well, anyway, I didn't know
Anyway.
that. But
But,
anyway, she's like a really like professional fundraiser.
Oh,
And she just got hired by Springfield Hospital. And I was gonna ask her if she had any time that she would wanna give us,
why
you
not?
know, so I'm gonna talk to her.
I was
Sounds like a
wondering,
good-
your friends here on Church Street.
Wendy Speck. I would love for Wendy Speck to be on the board, but I don't think she's gonna do it.
No.
But
What about her husband?
that's a really hard no. But Tara is willing,
Yeah, I know Terry, yeah,
Yeah.
Tara's cool.
so.
I was hoping we could find somebody in Andover.
oh,
But I don't know anybody. I was trying to think of the woman that used to be on the board with me that when everybody quit, and she had just started when I did.
Ah,
But she used to be on the board of SEPCA. Catherine.
Oh, let me see,
Austin,
I'm
Austin.
gonna look at the Andover names and see what I can do.
oh, I don't
To
know.
I
Jackson.
have her address, but I don't.
It would be nice to have somebody from Andover.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, ask
From
Tonya,
Andover then.
because she's fundraising.
You know somebody in Andover?
No, I'm just saying, if we had somebody from Andover, maybe Andover would give us more money.
I think that would help a lot.
Right.
Because I mean, it would help a resident,
I'm being facetious.
would help, because then they would go to the town meeting, and when they speak, it's gonna mean more than me. So it would help.
You're gonna ask Tonya,
Yeah.
Wonderly, or whatever.
You know who she is, that's what matters.
I wanted to say her name was Janet, but I.
No, Jana was his first.
No, but right, I'll have to go look at.
Sounds like he's been married a few
I'll have to
times.
look at Peter's email because I just saw the email that he asked about. Having the horses pull a wagon for their wedding,
Hi, yeah.
Are you,
because he said something about we're finally getting married, so maybe,
So, like-
maybe they weren't married.
yeah, maybe they weren't married. So, are you going to be doing the horses at the meatball day?
Yes.
So Carrie, and you're gonna do a
Oh, yeah,
fundraising
that-
with it or not?
Yeah, but it's not, they're doing it for the food shelf.
So they're not.
Not for the library, but Carrie's welcome to come and.
I told Carrie anyway.
Right.
That's it.
Will they let us hold out a bucket? When Carrie's reading to the kids?
No, Carrie's reading. I think that would
She's
not
gonna-
be so good.
No, that's what they loved
I
last
know you
year.
could do that, but I don't think you should be asking money for
Oh, no.
her, should have, or even if
They're
donation.
doing it for the
Because
Chester
kids-
family because.
Because going there and reading stories is a regular library service.
Yeah,
Right.
We should be asking money for that.
right.
But a trustee can be standing there with a bucket.
So I think we can, it's figured out their cost,
What?
people saying, you know.
Shameless, we went right to the steps of the wagon.
Just money.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was so good because it was a beautiful day and everybody was lined up to take the wagon ride and all these little kids, so Carrie came over with some books.
Oh,
And she was reading to the little kids, and actually the Facebook post, did you see that Erskine's did? It's got this cute little doot 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 song and it shows all these pictures and then all of a sudden it shows a picture of Carrie.
Great.
With all the kids, it's a great picture, yeah.
I was wondering, you know that train ride that they do, that Polar Express or
they're
whatever?
doing that too, they know.
Would they let like Carrie go on there and read to
Well,
the kids? on the train line.
Read the Polar Express.
You have to pay to go to that though.
Yeah,
That's a
not
little
free.
bit
It's not-
more of a,
It's a kind of a goodwill kind of.
I know, it's a little bit of more of a, I think that
you'd be doing is raising money for the people who are putting that on, and it's not a charitable event.
yeah, and it's not free and open to the public, which is
Yeah,
what libraries
right.
usually do, so. We can do some of those things.
Yeah.
We can, but this was,
sat outside and
yeah.
Or maybe
I think
that's
that was-
Station.
in the
Yeah.
station.
I think that's it's a much better idea,
Pay the library to buy her.
but that is,
If it was
a-
the service
that is a
that
much
would
better
get
idea to
her
do it
out.
in the station.
Yeah.
Huh, anyway,
Yeah, and the station sounds like
Opportunities.
a much better idea.
okay.
What
All right.
about another idea that just came to mind because of all this conversation? I don't know what's happening this year with Santa. If Santa would come to the library and people would come there to take picture with Santa.
We could maybe, I know
That
that,
would be nice, right here by the fireplace.
yeah, I mean, I'm not sure Carrie wants to do that, and it might be hard for me to do it without Carrie's willingness to have that happen, because, somebody was in here today with Christmas, whatever, the gnomes, they're doing a gnomes, looking for gnomes around town, the Christmas.
Oh, really?
Throw it like out on the shelf.
They're doing this, I have a gnome here, and that woman asked about Santa, and Carrie said no, but we are having some, like on Friday, there's gonna be a drop-in time where people can make crafts and wrap their Christmas presents with our stuff. And, there's a tea party that's for adults and kids. I mean, those are things that I'm doing, but Santa, I think Carrie would have to be in.
Make this like whole room into a
Can I?
Like,
That's what we do.
read the
wrapping.
night before Christmas.
Well, we put that down in the basement, if the basement is open.
Right.
A fireplace.
No, but that's right, here's
Enough room to
people.
do.
It's so random.
Oh, for Santa, yeah, but not for wrapping.
Be so cute, but it's.
We would use this room, we do use this room,
Yeah.
and we would probably also, the downstairs is open, we would use the downstairs too.
Santa, you know, with the kids, by
I
the
mean-
fireplace.
I think, I'm not sure Carrie would want that, we'd have to ask her.
They're the trustees, we want.
You and a Santa. The smallest
We could
Santa.
do like, you know, we could do something for Hanukkah, we could do something.
No, but wait a
you know,
minute.
So it could be all in.
You could do that, but the thing is, if we're asking Carrie to do it, we probably wanna get her.
Suddenly change your job description.
We can do that, you know, we don't need to, I mean, like, if you guys wanna do that, we can do it.
Okay, so do we have to do executive session?
Yes.
Okay, so then let's go into that now.
Okay.
Okay, cause we're really getting,
Somebody, I'm not sure why the law, so somebody should move. Because you
Oh,
can
yeah.
say why you're going.
Oh, yeah, before.
I make a motion to enter executive session to discuss personnel issues.
I second,
Issues.
okay.
Yes, and I,
The motion.
Okay, we're gonna make a motion to exit, executive session.
Second,
oh,
Okay,
And
all
no
in favor?
I.
I,
Aye. And now we're back in the public domain,
that's right,
and we're going to adjourn.
that's right.
Yep.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, good night.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye. All right.
Good night, Laura.
Thanks, Laura.
Good night. Thank you.
Chair.
Well, at least we can get Laura and Gail together to,
Oh, yeah, for
do the
the,
budget stuff.
Yeah.
God, what a mess.
Yeah.